Building New Orleans Together is brought to you in part by these fine underwriters.
So let us continue our work, building this city together.
Our number one responsibility is your life. Your life.
I'm Marc Morial. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Kwanzaa, and welcome to Building New Orleans Together. Tonight, we'll continue our look at city government in action. We'll show you a hands-on city government working with business and community partners to benefit the people of this city and our entire region. Recently, Andrew Cuomo, the Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, visited our programs and projects and met with community and business leaders. We'll take a look at Secretary Cuomo's visit and at HUD for a Day in New Orleans. Also, our police department will offer a few safety tips and special precautions for you and your family during this holiday season. And our great Superintendent of Fire, Warren McDaniels, will tell us how to prevent fire in our homes and businesses during this cold weather season. Building New Orleans Together brings to light the important work being done in this community for this community. And now, your government at work. Denise?
Thanks, Mayor Morial. Recently, Andrew Cuomo, the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, visited New Orleans and toured several HUD programs all across the city for what is known as HUD for a Day. He and his staff had the opportunity to meet with business and community leaders to discuss other opportunities for future HUD projects. Cheryl Teamer, Assistant to the Mayor for Intergovernmental Relations, tells us more. Cheryl, what is HUD for a Day?
This year, New Orleans was selected as a HUD for a Day city. HUD for a Day is a program that was started by Secretary Andrew Cuomo, the Secretary of the Housing and Urban Development Office. HUD for a Day is a program where the Secretary and 7 of his assistant secretaries and their senior staff come to your community and spend the day interacting with people from the housing community and people from the private sector.
Why is it important that New Orleans was selected as a HUD city?
It's important for us to have Secretary Cuomo come down in the first year of his administration because HUD funds a lot of programs in New Orleans. Through community development block grant dollars, HUD actually funds the operation of the city's Department of Economic Development. In addition, HUD provides funding for a lot of programs, core programs for community projects such as Kingsley House and a lot of economic development projects like the Chateau Sinesta.
Cheryl, it seems that HUD is taking on a new role of stimulating the economy.
Over the last couple of years, the focus at HUD has shifted. We've seen an emphasis on the part of the administration to try to place more money in inner city areas. For New Orleans, that's very important. We're a very poor city. At a population of about 500,000, we see that our tax base is diminishing. And in order to get money back to the inner city for urban development, we've looked to HUD to help leverage private sector investment.
While the Secretary was in town, he visited Malta Square. Tell us a little bit about that.
During the Secretary's visit to New Orleans, he had the opportunity to meet people at the Malta Square Assisted Senior Citizen Living Center. Malta Square, which was formerly Seton Academy, the Academy of the Sacred Heart, is going to be a senior citizens home on Canal Street that will be funded in part with HUD money. That project is one that everybody in the city is excited about because it brought together the private and public sector, and it was put together under the leadership of the local HUD office. During the course of the Secretary's visit and his stay in New Orleans, one thing was very clear, and that is that New Orleans has to have a stronger partnership with the federal government, with agencies like HUD that have the expertise and the skill that we need to reinvent and reinvest in our inner city. The Secretary had the chance to sit down and in a dialogue with the presidents and the CEOs of several of our banks and major corporations to talk about ways that they can get excited about inner city development and ways that we can join with HUD to reinvest in our city and rebuild New Orleans.
Thanks, Cheryl. While in New Orleans, Secretary Cuomo helped push Jazzland along by donating an additional $10 million to the project. After this break, we'll be right back.
Nueva Orleans, con orgullo vivimos aquí. La Nouvelle-Orléans, c'est chez nous.
When I was a kid, downtown was the only place that people could go to shop. But that was a long time ago. Shopping in New Orleans. Oh, that and a whole lot more.
Welcome back to Building New Orleans Together. The holiday season is a time when many people are scurrying about trying to complete their shopping for family and friends. But it's also time when criminals try to seize the opportunity to prey on holiday shoppers. The New Orleans Police Department has safety tips and special precautions that you and your family should take this time of year. Lieutenant Marlon DeFillo has more.
Holiday season is upon us, and this is the season when burglars, auto thieves, and robbers go to work. What we want to try to do is give some advice and some safety tips to our citizens who are going to be out shopping this holiday season to prevent them from being victims of crimes. When you're traveling to the mall, make sure that once you arrive to the mall, park in a well-lit area. Make sure that all of your valuables are secured in the trunk of the car. Don't leave anything that's exposed that's of value. Criminals look into cars to see the opportunity of something valuable inside of the car, and they will break into the car and take those items. Make sure that you lock your car, and make sure that you take the keys out of the ignition. Once you've completed your shopping, if you feel uncomfortable walking back to the car in the late night hours, ask store security for an escort to your vehicle. Minimize the number of packages that you have in your hands. Make sure that your keys are in your hand. Walk directly to your car, get into the car, secure your car. Don't procrastinate. When leaving the mall, periodically look through the rearview mirror to see if anyone is following you. If you feel uncomfortable and you believe someone is following you from the mall to your home, drive to a public area and call the police department. If you're leaving an ATM machine, again, make sure that you're very cognizant of your surroundings. Make sure that you don't have tunnel vision. Look to the right, look to the left of you, look in the rear of you to find if anyone is following you. The New Orleans Police Department has taken steps to ensure holiday safety for all citizens. One thing that the police department is doing is high-rise surveillances in downtown New Orleans. We're going to have officers strategically placed in high-rise buildings with very sophisticated equipment looking down on shoppers. We're going to also have officers patrolling on foot. They will have direct communication with those police officers, and if something is occurring, if there is a trouble spot, then the officers in the high-rise buildings can zero down and inform those officers of where the problem areas are, move in, and eradicate the problem. We're going to also have officers patrolling the shopping malls in New Orleans in vehicles, marked units in uniform to ensure that there is a police presence. The New Orleans Police Department wants to send a very clear message to the criminals who are contemplating committing crimes on our law-abiding citizens. There will be a very strong presence of police officers, not just in downtown New Orleans, but also other areas where shoppers are going to be. Any individual caught committing crimes and preying on our law-abiding citizens will be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. On behalf of the New Orleans Police Department, we want to wish everyone a very safe and happy holiday season.
Thanks, Marlon. If you witness a crime or notice suspicious behavior, contact mall security immediately or dial 911 for the New Orleans Police Department. We'll be back with more Building New Orleans Together right after this.
I wear thin shoes so I can feel the pavement on the bottoms of my feet. I wear thin shoes so I never forget, so I can always feel it, never giving in, never giving an inch. I wear thin shoes so I can feel the city. And I feel the city changing. Everything changes. It makes you wonder if anything lasts. But when you find something that matters, you stand up for it. I think about why I was put on this earth. Maybe I was put here to fight for what matters, to fight for what is worth saving. While I consider this, I wear thin shoes so I can feel the city that I love.
Welcome back. As we celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and New Year's, we need to keep fire safety in mind. Devastating fires have occurred in the metro area as a result of holiday-related activities. According to the New Orleans Fire Department, decorative lights, candles, parties where people drink and smoke, and the onset of the cold weather season all increase the likelihood of a fire. The New Orleans Fire Department offers safety tips that we all need to observe to ensure a safe holiday season. And here to tell us all about that is Fire Superintendent Warren McDaniels. Welcome to Building New Orleans Together.
Thank you, and happy holidays, Denise.
Chief, what precautions should we take when we are concerned with our Christmas tree?
Well, certainly, Christmas tree is the centerpiece of our holiday season, and those trees should be fresh and not dry. Place the tree a safe distance from the heat source, and never hang electrical lights from a metallic tree. Unplug the tree lights when you leave home. Don't overload extension cords or electrical outlets.
What kind of tree should we buy?
Well, Denise, there are hazards associated with each type of tree that you buy. Certainly a live tree, such as the one we're watching now, has its particular hazards. Look at how it begins to burn. We do this demonstration. Now, this tree is not so very dry. It hasn't been cut down very long. But if this tree were dry, it would go up even faster. Notice how the smoke begins to promulgate. Now, this smoke is traveling all throughout the house. And if this was when everyone is sleeping, imagine the consequences. This tree goes up so fast. Look at the fire. Imagine if there were presents under the tree, if we were close to curtains. This fire is now rolling on the ceiling. Look at the smoke. The tree and the flame is almost obscured with the smoke that is promoted from this fire. It's a very rapidly burning tree. It can cause, just look at that, how viciously it burns.
And this is something that the fire department does to demonstrate what can happen.
Yeah, we'd like people to visually and graphically see just how quickly this tree can go up, and consequently, how quickly your holiday season can be ruined.
Is there any special precautions that we could take this time of year for children?
Certainly. We want to keep lighters and matches away from children. Children are so inquisitive and they love to play with these things, and fire is fascinating. When buying our children's presents, we want to avoid toys made of highly flammable materials. We got to protect our young ones and teach them to stay away from candles and open flames.
Chief, what about heating devices, space heaters, kerosene heaters, fireplaces, and so on?
Well, certainly the holiday season is during the cold weather, and we use the heaters to heat our homes. But we want to make sure that the heaters we use are in well-ventilated areas. With electric space heaters, you want to plug them directly into the wall and not into extension cords. They use an awful lot of juice. Kerosene heaters, and hopefully there's not a lot of those around, but fill them only with K1 Kerosene. Never use gasoline or camp stove fuel. And as for the fireplaces, they certainly set the atmosphere, but we've got to be extremely careful with them. Have them inspected once a year. Make sure you have screens in front of the fireplaces. Use only seasoned wood. That's dry wood.
Is that rather than green?
Yeah, green wood has sap, it has moisture in it, and it could cause some problems. So make sure that the firewood you buy is what's called seasoned wood.
Now, when you're making a fire, is it okay to put your presents, your wrappings from your presents into your fire?
No, not at all. You never want to put paper. That stuff flies all over the place. Plus, there's a lot of synthetic materials that go into wrapping materials, and you don't know what the products of combustion are. Dispose of them in a proper fashion. Don't put them in the fireplace.
What about the use of candles at the holiday season?
Oh, candles give me heartburn. It's an open flame. People go to bed with them on. They certainly set a nice atmosphere, but they're very dangerous. Never burn candles near a Christmas tree or decorations. Don't leave a candle burning unattended around small children.
Chief, where should you place your smoke detectors in your home?
Well, smoke detectors should be placed outside of every bedroom and on every level of your home. They should be placed at least 6 inches from walls or ceilings. You should test the batteries at least once a month and change the batteries at least once a year.
Should you have them professionally installed?
Now, smoke detectors are easily installed. The instructions come with each model, so it's not a problem. Anyone can install smoke detectors.
Now, if you have a problem in your home with a fire, how do you get out of your home?
Well, first of all, you prepare before the fire. You have exit drills in your home, and you make sure everyone knows at least 2 ways out of your home. There should be some place out of harm's way where the family gets together to make sure that everyone is safe, and never ever go back into a burning building.
What about fire extinguishers?
Fire extinguishers are good. We should have one in our homes. We should also have one in our cars. They work very well. They're very easy to operate, the instructions on them, and learn to use them before you have to.
Now, I know that you're winding down the year at the fire department, and you're planning, but I know that your department does more than just fight fires. You have some important programs in place.
Well, one of our most important programs is our Learn Not to Burn curriculum that we have in every school in Orleans Parish from pre-K through 3rd grade. Some of the stuff we talked about today, the children already know. One of our other important programs is our first responder, our medical first responder program. The thing that we started during the Brightfield incident last year. We respond on medical emergencies throughout the city, and we've saved many, many lives with our medical first responder program. We're very proud of that.
The Brightfield, I know that was an important milestone for the fire department.
Yes, it was. It was one of our greatest operations. We handled it very, very well. We had worldwide acclaim, and we were so very fortunate that there were no casualties in that incident.
What do you think that your department learned from Brightfield?
Well, certainly the incident command system. And this is something we've been using for several years, and it is a management type system where we divide responsibilities and tasks to certain people who report to an incident commander. It is the best way to manage a large-scale incident, and we use it to perfection during Brightfield.
I know that another component of that operation was the cooperative effort of all of the agencies.
Well, certainly the cooperative effort between state, local, and federal agencies was the high point of the Brightfield incident. Our integrated emergency management system worked extremely well, and it serves as a model and a case study for many, many fire departments around the nation.
Well, I know that you did a terrific job, and so did your department, and we were most grateful for that. And thank you, Chief, for being with us.
Well, it's good to be here. Happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you, Chief. This year, when making out your gift list, why not consider giving the gift of life? Smoke detectors and home fire extinguishers make great holiday gifts that could save a loved one's life. All across the city, Mayor Morial continues his work of rebuilding the city of New Orleans, project by project and community by community. And now, the mayor at work. Mayor Morial and Councilman Troy Carter recently announced major renovations and exterior improvements to the historic Bank of Louisiana building. The building is now the 8th District Police Headquarters and the Vieux-Carré Commission office. These improvements are funded with Rebuild New Orleans Now bond money.
It's an exciting day for us today because what we're doing is leading by example. We encourage and ask other property owners to maintain and protect and take care of their historic buildings in the city of New Orleans. And this being a property that's owned by the city of New Orleans, we are doing and putting our money where our mouths are. By investing the money to protect and preserve this historic structure, we are letting people know that we're not only asking others to do it, but we're doing it ourselves as well.
This project is expected to be completed by April 1998. Across town, the mayor, along with Councilmember Ellen Hazur-Distance and the city's Office of Economic Development, announced the groundbreaking of an upscale residential subdivision in New Orleans East. The 73-house subdivision, called McKendall Estates, is the largest new residential development in eastern New Orleans.
This is an example, if you will, of the private sector recognizing the positive things that are taking place in New Orleans East right now and recognizing that New Orleans East has a great future.
In Gentilly Woods, Mayor Morial, Councilman Glapion, and others joined in the grand opening of Community Supermarket, a new grocery store in the Gentilly Woods Shopping Center on Chef Mentor Highway. This grocery store is the latest project of the city's neighborhood commercial revitalization program.
We want everyone who is here to know that city government, your mayor, your city council, we're going to help small business people make it in this community.
Through the NCR program, Community Supermarket was matched with a low-interest loan and other federal assistance. And Community Supermarket may also be eligible for free management and technical assistance. We'll be back after this break.
When you have litter, don't throw it down, and don't let the litter bugs spoil our town. Don't step over, don't walk around. Pick that trash up off the ground. We're known as a city that can't forget, but when it comes to pride, we care a lot. But pride has a price we've all got to pay. It's keeping our city clean day by day. So don't step over, don't walk around. Pick that trash up off the ground.
The beauty of living in New Orleans touches all of us differently. It's felt in a stroll through a familiar neighborhood, sharing an old tradition with the young. It's seen in our attitudes and shaped in our efforts. It's reflected in a neighbor's smile. It's a great restaurant on every block and a new adventure around every corner. For us, the charm of New Orleans is it'll always be home.
We hope that you have enjoyed the program as much as we have enjoyed bringing you your city government in action. And now, a final word from Mayor Morial.
This holiday season, whether you celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas, or Kwanzaa, or all three, it's a time that's special in this city. I know that during the holiday season, I look forward to family, I look forward to friends, and I look forward to the treasured memories of growing up in this city. During this holiday season, it's a great opportunity for all of us to recommit ourselves to those basic values, to family, to our children, to our parents, to our grandparents, to our extended family, and show them how much we care about them and how much we love them. It's also a time to recommit to community. 1997 has been a better year for our city, and 1998 can be even greater. But all of us must commit to the idea of community, people working together to bring about change, reducing violence and crime, improving the living conditions that all of us must experience in this city. During this holiday season, my prayers and thoughts will be with you and your family. And they'll also be with all of us as we commit, and as I personally commit, to do everything I can to be better, to be more committed, and also to ensure that 1998 is a better year for all of us. Happy holidays to you and yours.
Building New Orleans Together has been brought to you in part by these fine underwriters.